Hey guys, Supersonic123, aka John here. Welcome to episode number one of the AFC Wimbledon Road to Glory. And guys, I'm so excited to be bringing you this. So we start a new series of FIFA with AFC Wimbledon. Starting in League One, it's going to be a very tough challenge, guys. This is probably the toughest challenge I've ever had in a career mode. It's going to be a long series, but it's going to be lots of fun as well. First thing I'm going to do is going to look at these emails. So I've entered us into a preseason tournament, the European International Cup. Our group consists of the Dutch side Go Ahead Eagles, FC Lausanne Sport. They sound like a French side, but I wouldn't know, and Cambridge United of League Two as well. Uh, as for visions and expectations, this is what the board wants us to do. Youth development is low priority. Want to sign at least two players younger than 20 years old with the potential greater than the average overall rating of players currently in the same position. I think we could quite easily perform that. And sign one youth player to the senior team in the same season they were scouted, given them 5 matches, either as part of starting 11 or coming on from the bench. I think we could do that as well. Brand exposure very low, but they want us to keep a streak of at least 85% attendance in 5 consecutive home matches. If I can get the crowds rocking into Kings Meadow, I think I might be able to accomplish that. Financial is critical priority. They want us to finish the season with at least 2.5 million unspent allocated funds, and that's really not possible when our current funds is less than that. So yeah, we're in financial dire straits, and they want us to keep player salary growth under 20%. I think it's safe to say I'm not going to be doing very well with the objectives, at AFC Wimbledon, with financial objectives anyway. Domestic success finished mid-table in League One. I thought they'd go for avoid relegation because Wimbledon are a very weak side for League One, and wants to reach the round of 32 stage in the FA Cup, which would be the fourth round. So they want us to win 3 FA Cup ties because we enter in League One or in round one. And Continental success, no objectives yet. So we're gonna have a look at the team now. I've got the 60% increase. I've also got the top global transfer network scout. So currently our transfer budget is 2 million pounds and £7,000 on the wage budget. We can adjust that, of course, and the preseason tournament, if we win, can get us up to about another 2 million, which could be very useful. But the first thing I'm going to do, guys, we're going to look at the team. In the squad report. Okay, goalkeepers. We have 2 goalkeepers, James Shea and Joe McDonnell. Joe McDonnell is quite poor, only 56 overall. James Shea, 63. Not sure if he's going to cut it. We could go for a new goalkeeper, get rid of Joe McDonnell, and keep in James Shea as a backup. We've only got right back. That's Gary Fuller, who is a leader of men, apparently. Who knows? Centre backs, we have quite a few. We have Paul Robinson, who's probably one of the best players in the team at 67 overall, and he's 34 years old as well. Chris Robertson, 63, is 29. I don't know if there's any... Robinson. They're not going to be related. Will Nightingale, young lad, 20 years old, 58 overall. Not sure if he has any potential, but we will have to see that. Darius Charles, 65 overall, 28 years old. And Tony Sibic is a young lad, 49, 17 years old. We're going to send this lad out on loan, and if he wants to stay in the team, he'll have to grow quite rapidly out on loan, I'll tell you that much. Sean Kelly, right back, 22 years old, 64 overall. John Med, same overall, 2 years older. And Seth Owens, only 54. I think we'll send him out on loan too. George Frankham, 64 overall. Chris Whelpdale, also 64 overall, but 5 years senior. Jake Reeves, 65. Tom Suarez, I think that's how you pronounce that, 62 overall, 29 years old. Dan Gallagher, not impressed with him, going to send him out on loan, 19 years old, 51 overall. Dean Parrott, 64, 24 years old. Danny Bullman is only 60 and he's 37, and he is not retiring at the end of the season by the looks of things. We'll keep him in, but don't really use him much. Andy Barcham, 29, 64 overall. Neshet Blickley, I think that's how you pronounce that, 17, 49. We're going to send him out on loan as well. Alfie Egan, we might have to keep just for number purposes, but we might loan him out as well, 51, 18 years old. Okay, we'll loan out Alfie Egan, and we might keep Egli Kaya, who's 54 and 18 years old. Lyle Taylor is a striker, 66 and 26. Dominic Polian, 65 overall, 22 years old. Tom Elliott, 65 overall, 25 years old. George Oakley's 20, 55 overall. And Tyrone Barnett is 30, 63 overall. And finally, Toyosi Olusanya is 53 overall at 18 years old. So I think we'll loan this guy out for 1 year because we've got quite a few strikers, but he's by far the weakest one. Anyway, what we're going to do now is we're going to get the Scout Future Star from the catalog, if I can find it. Yeah, level 30 Scout Future Star, because this is going to be this Road to Glory career modes are the kind of career modes that uh, Scout Future Stars were made for. In all honesty, so we're gonna get him back, the report back at the beginning of the next month, and now what we're gonna do is we're going to set up a youth scout. We're gonna hire a youth scout if there's any good ones. Okay, most of the good ones are out of our budget right now. The best one is George Richardson, who's 300,000. I think we might wait a week to see if there's any that are better than George Richardson, but not too expensive like Connor Robertson here or Mark Donaghy here. We're going to wait a week till the next Friday to hire one because the number of youth scouts is replaced every Friday. I think that's what we'll do. But for now, I'm going to take you guys through my squad report, my shortlist, and look at the players that I've shortlisted to potentially bring in. So goalkeepers, just one, Angus Gunn of Manchester City. I'm scouting all these guys right now, but I don't know how long they're going to be scouted. Well, I still have to get scout reports back on them. I've only just made the save. Centre backs, we've got a lot of centre backs. Cameron Carter-Vickers from Tottenham, someone I'd really like to bring in. He's got great potential. Jake Clark-Salter, a man who is in real life on loan at Bristol Rovers from Chelsea, but in the game he's at Bristol Rovers permanently. Some of Chelsea's loan players have been put at their loan clubs permanently because, well, Chelsea have so many players out on loan. They've got like nearly 40, I think. Jerome Junior Ongwene could be an option. I didn't know he'd gone to Stuttgart from FC Socha, I think he was at last year. Olivier Bashagli could be another option. Axel Tuanzebe is an interesting one from Manchester United. We could loan him in. But that picture you see there, he didn't have a picture before, but now he got a picture, and that's not him. That's a picture from the United website, and it's Timothy Fosu-Mensah. It's a bit of a mess up on EA's part. Dale Fry could look at him. Great potential Dale Fry has from Middlesbrough. Kieran Tierney, one of the few Scottish players to have a potential over 80, that's for sure, from Celtic, could bring him in. Cameron McGeehan, Luton Town. Last year, a couple of years ago, while on loan at Cambridge from Norwich, did play against Manchester United in the FA Cup. Could look at him. Zachary El Bouzedi, who is Irish, doesn't sound like an Irish name, but he's Irish, from West Bromwich Albion. I think he has an Albanian dad, or he has a foreign dad, anyway, and his mother's Irish, and he lives in Ireland. Jake Hesketh from Southampton, another option at Cam. Izzy Brown from Huddersfield. Got Jonathan Lecco from West Brom, we could loan in. And this is a bit of an ambitious one, but Alexander Isak, the next Ibrahimovic, 6'3", 16 years old, got potential around 84. We could see if we can loan him in from Dortmund, and also Thierry Rambos from Manchester City. We could also look at. And anyway, those are the players we look to bring in. If you have any suggestions, guys, leave them in the comments down below. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to look to train a couple players, or look to set up training. I'm not sure who we could train. And as in terms of young players, we've got Kelly is pretty young at 22 years old. Do we have anyone with the? We don't have a single player with the promising player tag. So we're just going to train, say, Kelly and Nightingale, just because they're young, for the time being. We're just going to train them until we got some prospects in to improve the squad in some way. So we're going to train Will Nightingale and Sean Kelly. And for the final set, I think we'll just give another one to Will Nightingale. Attributes trained. I'll give him a passing drill. Why not? Defenders need to be able to pass. Surprisingly enough, they do. So this squad, guys, isn't the strongest for League 1 opposition. Wimbledon, of course, just been promoted from League 2 via the playoffs because a certain Mr. Adebayo Akinfenwa scored a penalty in the playoff final. So what I think we're going to do now, guys, is we're going to advance forward to this first preseason game against FC Lausanne Sport, and we're going to play the game. Obviously, I don't normally play preseason friendlies, at least after the first season, but this will be crucial to us getting some money, so we need to do well in this. I think we kind of never heard of FC Lausanne Sport. I've heard of the Go Ahead Eagles, they're a Dutch side, and I've heard of Cambridge United. They're in the division below us in League 2. Chesnoid Gaming is doing a great road to glory with those guys. So Tiosi Olusanya wants to play in this first game against FC Lausanne. I don't think so, pal. We're going to try out. I'm going to just assemble a default starting 11. I'll get back to you guys when I've decided on what to do for that. Okay, so this is the side that the team that we're going to use, guys, as our default starting 11. I didn't make too many changes to the default one that Wordew's made for me, but we got James Shea in goal, Fuller, Robertson, Charles, and Kelly is the back four. Sorry, midfield four of my controller does this sometimes, guys. I'm sorry. A midfield four of Bartram, Parrott, Reeves, and Frankham, and a strike partnership of Polian and Lyle Taylor. On the bench, you have Elliott, Whelpdale, Suarez, Bullman, Robertson, Nightingale, and the young lad McDonald. And in the relatives, we've got Meds, Gallagher, Barnett, Oakley, Kaya, Owens, Civic, Bilickley, Egan, and Olasanya. We're looking to loan out quite a few of those guys. So that's the side we're going to use for this first preseason game, guys. And I hope it goes well. If we do well, we could end up with a lot, better money, basically. So we'll look to do well, that's for sure. He's finding Frankham. Parrott looking for Polian. Can make it 1-0 here. Elton Montiero with the block. A pint for a corner. We've been all over Lausana here. Into the middle from Reeves. Header. It's in the back of the net eventually. It was Lyle Taylor got the head on it. Came down off the bar. And I think one of the FC Lausanne players put the ball into his own net there. We'll look at it on the replay. Lyle Taylor is claiming it. He gets a header here, as you see. Poor goalkeeping, and as it hits off the bar, it goes in off the keeper there, I think, if I saw that correctly. Lyle Taylor gets a header on it, comes down off the top of the bar, bounces up on the goal line, and I think it's either the goalkeeper or the defender got the deflection on it to put it into his own net. It was the defender Tejeda. It's been given as an own goal for him. We don't care, we're 1-0 up in the Amsterdam Arena. Here's Bartram sprinting down the left-hand side, takes a pass to the FC Lausanne man, but he was fouled there by Thomas. Going to swing this ball into the middle. Ball in from Sean Kelly towards Fuller, the skipper, and Fuller scores. It's Wimbledon 2, FC Lausanne 0, and it's the skipper Fuller, the right back, the only right back at the club, no less, that gives us the lead in the doubles our lead here in Amsterdam. Excellent ball in by Sean Kelly, and of all the men to get their head on that, it has to be Fuller. He looks about 40 years old. But Fuller, either way, finds the back of the net. I'm obviously elated. We're 2-0 up and we're cruising towards 3 points in our first preseason game. And yes, I had his name right. It is Barry Fuller. Into Fuller. Can he get a second? He can't. It would have been an unlikely brace from the right back, but De Silva's equal to it. Bartram. Charles, 3-0. Easy as that. The centre-back Charles gets on in the act here in the Amsterdam Arena, and he kind of just half-assedly kicks the corner flag, but it's easy as you like. Charles makes it 3-0. Excellent ball into the middle. Charles with the header, nods a pass to Silva, and it's 3-0 to AFC Wimbledon. We are headed for 3 points in this first preseason game. If we carry on like this into our league season, then we'll fly up into the championship in no time. Here's Getaz for FC Lausanne. Loses out to Robinson. But he wins it back though. Getaz, ball into the middle, and Tejeda has got FC Lausanne a consolation goal. It's 3-1, but that's not really going to do anything, is it? But as in terms of the defending, poor defending there. Parrott should have been on his man there. I think it was Sean Kelly that was meant to be marking him, the left back, but he heads it past James Shea. It's 3-1. Not going to trouble the result, but not the best defending, that's for sure. I think it's the same guy who scored the own goal in the first half for our first goal. I think that's hilarious. Now FC Lausanne on the break here, trying to find maybe a goal that would get them back into the game. Bullman to Margiotta on the volley, goes wide. Bit of a scare there. Whelpdale finding Polian, finding Bullman, and Bullman shoots wide in the end, a 37-year-old. And there's full time. AFC Wimbledon 3, FC Lausanne 1, and we get the win. First 3 points in the European International Cup. We're on our way to get that to get a good chunk of that 2 million prize money, and that'll go a long way to helping us in our attempt to get out of League One. So guys, I can confirm that Jake Reeves is going to be out for 4 weeks. Not ideal, but he'll be back for the start of the League One season. We'll have another player training session after that game, see what growth we can get with this team. And Will Nightingale has gone up in quite a few of his stats, particularly the lower ones. He's gone up by 2 in his ball control. So I think we'll leave it at that for today's episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This is more of an introductory episode, so to speak. In the next episode, we'll play Cambridge and hopefully the go-ahead Eagles in the other two group games in the European International Cup. Might make a few moves, might hire a youth scout. We'll see what happens. But for now, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next episode of the Wimbledon Road to Glory.